Hello everyone, my name is Winters and welcome back to this Let's Play series of Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. We are continuing on exactly from where we left off. However, I have accepted 3 brand new orders and they were experience orders while off camera. One was for this, a van or a bus or whatever you want to call it. And the other 2, one was for this car here and one was for this one here. I done this because I didn't want to lose the experience missions. So now let's decline. Oh shit, there's an experience order there. And another one. Damn. Can we move these cars to the car park? No, only available for cars you want. Alright, never mind. Not the end of the world. So let's see. Right, we have brake problems, grinding and shaking from gearbox, transmission is noisy, repair damaged body panels. Okay, can she move to the test track? Test path, not track. And we'll see if we can identify these brake problems. Alright, so we're testing out the front brakes here. Not great. Yeah, could be better. We'll test out the rear brakes now. Not great either. Definitely need some work. Next up is the front suspension. Here a lot of rattles there. Let's see what it's like up front. Average enough. Yeah, pretty average, so doesn't need a whole lot of work. Next up we'll test the rear suspension. And that is average enough as well. Okay, so brake caliber, brake drum, brake caliber, ventilated brakes. Right. Excuse me. Let's move this to lifter A. Now, I have no idea how this is going to be done because this, I think this is the first time doing a van or a bus. So yeah, I don't know how it's going to work accessing stuff with this. First of all, let's identify the parts that we've managed to get so far. Right, so this wheel does have to come off. And now we'll move over to the other side. Can we? No, damn it. Do it this way. We'll do it in steps. And now we'll get this tire. Actually, it doesn't look like anything had to be done on that wheel. Oh well, not the end of the world. Let's get the brake drum off. Okay, I think those brakes look right. That cylinder doesn't look good. So we'll take off the shoes, we'll take off the cylinder. Yeah, that definitely needs to be done. Let's move up front here. Right, brake caliber needs to be done here. Shoes, I'd say they're alright, yep. But the brake disc ventilated, that needs to be done. There we go. Right, what needs to be done here? Brake caliber. I'd say those brake shoes are fine. Yep, they're fine. Okay. Bushings. Do they need to be done? Average. We have a lot of secondhand stuff here. Let's see, what will we go for? We'll go for about 60%. There we go. Better than what was in it. Grinding, shaking from gearbox, transmission is noise. Right, so the gearbox needs work. Let's see. I don't know how we're going to get at. Well, obviously we have to. The roof, is the roof high enough? It must be high enough. Not by much. Okay, gearbox. Let's get a gander at the gearbox. Oh yeah, that gearbox definitely needs work. Alright, so starter has to come off. We'll get the prop shaft off. Okay. Moving up further. Oh my, yeah, okay. I bet the flywheel has to be done as well. Yeah, flywheel is in poor condition. Okay, so we can identify that stuff. So there's the gearbox, and then all the other bits and pieces. Right, brake problems. Could it be ABS? Where's the ABS? That does look like accessible from the engine bay. But how the hell do I get to the engine bay? That is interesting, or it's going to be interesting. Does the front of this open up or something? The hood, it sure does. Here we go. Nope, that's not the engine bay. How the hell do I get to the engine bay? Damn. Maybe I should have researched this before I took this order. Is it from this side? No. I really am stuck here. Well, I really don't know what to do. How do you get to the engine bay? I think we're going to have to postpone this job for a later time once I do a bit of research and see how we get the engine bay done. Right, okay, well then here, look, we'll move on to this car. What needs to be done here? Replace timing parts, replace all filters, car is hard to control, right, so that's a test path. Knocking coming from suspension, general running gear, loud exhaust. Okay, can it go to the test path? It can. So we're going to the test path. And we'll see if there's any brake or suspension problems. Okay, so first up is the front brakes, which seem to be fairly okay actually, not that bad. Overall pretty good condition. Next up we have the rear brakes, which also look pretty good as well, not too bad, in fairly good condition. Now we're working on the front suspension, so do hear some rattles there. Wow, the right hand side is really bad, while the left hand side is fairly okay. Now we're working on the rear suspension, which is really bad on the right hand side and not too bad on the left. Okay, so that's identified a few bits for us, so let's move it back to lifter B. And we'll get it up on the first, man, that's one hell of a spoiler. We'll get it up the first stage. And let's mark off the bits that need to be worked on. Wow, still nothing there. Alright, we've got something there. Running gear. Alright, we got a few bits and pieces. Rubber bushings mainly. And loud exhaust. Okay. Let's see. The engine itself looks like it's in good condition, but we'll test everything and see what we can find. I suspect everything's going to be fine here, which it is. So next up is electronics. So we'll break out the multimeter. All fine there. So next up is compression test. I suspect everything is going to be okay for the compression test because the engine looks like it's in fairly good condition. Yep, all pretty okay across the board there. Next up, OBD, which we don't have on this car, and then finally a fuel pressure test. Well, fuel filter I can see needs to be replaced. Yeah, everything else is okay. Right. First off, fan needs to come off. What's this belt like? Belt is okay. This belt is also okay. Get the water pump pulley off. Water pump itself off because it needs to be replaced. Fuel filter. Let's examine that belt. Yep, it's fine. Everything's looking fairly okay here. Oil filter definitely needs to be replaced. Okay. I think we can put the car up to the highest level. We're going to have to take off this wheel. And we need to pull out this shock. That sway and link. Bottom suspension arm. Upper suspension arm. Outer tie rod. Inner tie rod. That knuckle looks like it needs to be replaced as well, so we'll pull off the calipers, the brakes, the ventilators, brake disc. Wheel hub is bad. Wheel hub bearing, sorry. Wheel hub as well, actually, as it turns out. Front steering knuckle C. Alright, let's go over to the other side. Wheel has to come off. Alright, outer tie rod, inner tie rod, sway bar B. Right, next let's drop the oil out of it while I think of it, so that we don't make a mess. Because we have to take off the oil filter. Let's see, what do I have? Do I have an inner tie rod? I don't. Okay. Do I have an oil filter? I don't. Okay. Let's start buying stuff. Parts. So I want oil filter. Oil filter B8 OHV. I thought it was the blue one. Oil filter B8. Ah, it's the black one. There we go. Alright, we want tie rods, inner and outer. We want 2 of each. Sway bar B, I think it was. Front end link B, I think we need 2 of those. Leaf spring, we need 1 of those. Knuckle C, wasn't it? Front steering knuckle C, I think. We'll leave it at that for now. Oh, sway bar B I didn't get. Oh, I did get. Yay! Okay, oil filters next. Now we'll move over to the other side. Knuckle housing C. Axle cover, that was fine. Front wheel hub is fine. Brake disc ventilators. Put a second hand one in. Wheel hub bearing. Better get a new one of those. Wonder, are we okay with second hand items for those? Actually, do you know what? Here, this is the best way to do it. Mark off what we've got already. They're done. Oh no, yeah, we need to mark all that stuff. Running gear. Sweet, okay. And loud exhaust. Bottom suspension arm. I don't have, and we need an upper suspension arm. Bottom suspension arm. Upper suspension arm. And let's get some rubber bushings. I think we should get 8. Ooh, look at that now. Right, this needs to come off. Brake disc ventilators. It's this front wheel hub needs to be replaced. Front wheel hub. Alright, let's get all this stuff back in place. Okay, now we can go for the bottom suspension arm. We have to sort out the shock absorber as well. Which, once we find out if it's a double wishbone, because I honestly don't know. Double wishbone shock absorber. And everything needs to be got for it. Okay.
She does a lot of daydreaming, imagining herself as the extrovert that she is not. She goes over and over little events in her life, reliving her successes and suffering through her failures all over again.
Shock. Double wishbone shock absorber. And I think we need one of these, and I think we have a spring. We'll find out now. Ah, we don't have a new spring. Right, we need a new spring. Damn you. Spring. Spring. Front spring. There we go. Alright, let's put these parts together. Okay, now we can go back and install.
Joan seems to be coming quietly through these difficult years, but the stress and strain are there and result in an almost complete withdrawal from.
Alright, now we get the front sway bar end link thingamabob. Bushing. That needs to be replaced. Doesn't look like there's any other bushings. Alright, so we'll get a new one in here. That looks like Oh wait, no. Wheel hub bearing. We need to get a new one of those. Wheel hub bearing. There we go. Lovely. Okay. Now I think we can move down the back. So this middle muffler has to go. That middle muffler has to go. Wow, the entire axle on the back has to go. Wow. Okay, so let's strip down the whole lot here. Because springs, brakes, knuckle covers, knuckle housing, the whole freaking lot has to be done. Get these bushings out. Alright, shock absorber, you're coming too. Now we'll move over this side. Wait, brake shoes are first. Now the hub, now the knuckle housing, shock absorber. Rubber bushings. Now the leaf spring. And finally the prop shaft, and then we can get the axle itself. There we go. Now the axle should be able to come out. Okay. So, leaf spring rear drive axle. Okay. Leaf spring rear drive axle. I think I've already got one of those. Okay, let's take it as it comes, and we'll tackle all of this one piece at a time. So the shock absorbers were fine; they can go back in. Knuckle housings were fine. Oh no, one of them wasn't. I better mark that up now then. Car's hard to control. That's all done. Running gear, right, that's done, that's not. These are done. Okay, loud exhaust, middle muffler. Oh, I forgot to get the middle mufflers. Okay, was it? No, it wasn't that knuckle housing. Right, okay, so we got lucky there. Let's put this back on. Solid rear drive axle. Cylinder, that goes back in. Then the shoes. Then the brake drum. Right, leaf spring. Leaf plate. And U-bolts. Putting all new stuff in. Right. We'll get the prop shaft in next. And now we'll move over to the other side. Huh. Oh, don't tell me it's meant to be on the other side. Well, shit in a brick. Alright, we need a new one there. So I need to come out. Alright, so I may as well strip this down since I've made a mistake. And quickly. Alright, so that was rear knuckle housing B. Housing B. Rear axle knuckle housing B. There we go. That's what we're looking for. Alright, so now we can go back. Now this is a solid rear drive axle. We need a new one of those. Drive axle. Solid rear drive axle. There we go. Actually, you know what? Let's just pick up two because we might need them for future jobs. Brake cylinder. Oh, I need one of those for the other side as well, don't I? Alright, brake drum. There we go. Now we can move over here. We'll put on the shock absorber. Knuckle housing B. Like so. Alright, solid rear drive axle. Second hand one can go in there. And I need a brake cylinder. Brake cylinder, where the hell are you? Huh, I don't see it. There we go. Oh, drum wheel cylinder. Okay. Alright, brake shoes back in and brake drum. Okay, so now let's mark off what has been done, and we'll move on to the next stage of this project. All done there, excellent. We got a lot of this done. What's that? Small rubber bushings. Oh, rubber bushings, of course, in the springs. Yeah, and loud exhaust. Okay, let's middle muffler, and we need two of them. Alright, we'll get those. Next we will put in our bushings. Let's put a new one in here. And second hand one can go in here. Second hand one can go in here. And a second hand one can finally go into here. Alright, so the wheels can go back on now. Look at this. Rim retro. Are they the same? 215 70R14, 245. Do you know what? I bet you any money, no matter what I frickin' pick, I'm gonna put the wrong ones on the wrong side. But here, look at, we'll take a chance. Okay, now middle mufflers. Let's get those bad boys in. And let's check our list again. Scoop air filters, hard to control there. That's done, that's done. That is now done. And loud exhaust, that is done. Okay, so it's just the timing, the filters, and that's it. Sweet. Okay, we have the oil filter done. So it's just the fuel and the air filter and the timing stuff. So let's lower the car down. I need to get a fuel filter. Fuel filter. And we'll figure out the rest of the stuff in just a minute or two. So let's get the fuel filter in there. Okay. I needed a new water pump, so it's a water pump V8 OHV. Alright. Water pump V8 OHV. Water pump V10, V12, V6, V8. Alright, we're in the right area. V8 OHV C, V8 OHV. There we go. Please ignore my cats and kitten, who you probably hear at the moment there. The mama is just after coming back. Okay, water pump pulley. Supercharged water pump pulley, V8 OHV. Supercharged water pump pulley, V8 OHV. Water pump pulley. Here, this is what we're looking for. Supercharged water pump pulley, V8 OHV. Perfect. We already had it up. Belts, I think they were fine, weren't they? I think they were in pretty good. Yeah, they were all in good condition. So now the fan can go back on. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, no, we're fine. We're fine. I thought for a second there that I had to strip the engine down more, but I don't think we do. Oh no, we freaking do. Damn it, the timing. I forgot about the timing. Ah, shit. Right, okay, look, it's not going to be the end of the world. I'll be able to strip this down pretty rapidly and get into the timing without too much hassle. We just need to get the timing cover off. Like so. There we go. Alright, so we want a timing chain via OHV and a cam gear via OHV. Alright. Timing chain V8 OHV, timing chain V12 V8 OHV, there it is there, and cam gear V8 OHV. V8 OHK, V8 OHV, there we go. Alright, now we can get these back on and then we'll be back on track. Okay, we'll get the water pump back on. And the pulley. And the belt. And the crankshaft pulley. And the belt. And what are those cats doing? Making an awful ruckus. Okay. Right, I think that's us in pretty good condition. Now it's just the air filters, so we need to take this stuff off. Scoop air filter V8 OHV. Okay, so air filter, scoop air filter. Scoop air filter via OHV, there we go. And we'll buy 2 of them. And now we put them back on, put the new ones on. And is that it? All done there. All done there. All done there, all done there, all done there, All done there. Right, so it's just the wheels. The wheels. So let's see if we got the right wheels on the right axles. That will be the last thing. So we'll find that out now once we try to finish the job. Okay, so let's see if we can finish it now. So we spent just about 3,200 on parts, and we're getting just under 10,000 back for the order. No oil in the engine. See, always forget something. Always, every single time. Right, so let's put oil in the engine. Alright, that's oil done. Now let's try this again. Yay! We done it. Wonderful. Wonderful. Alright, we are going to leave it there for now. Thanks a million for watching, folks. I hope you all enjoyed this episode. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. It makes a huge difference, and it would really, really help me out. And I appreciate all of your support so much. It really does mean an awful lot, so thank you all for that. Anyway, my name is Winters, and I'll catch you next time. So until then, take care.